Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. It's the In Wheel Time car talk show. Just ahead, we talk about RVing with John Skelton.
All right.
We'll also have the stories making automotive news headlines this week. Howdy along with Mike Out of This World Mars, King Conrad DeLong. We need more Jeff Zekin, as we always do. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this Saturday. And I hope you got some rain this week.
Yeah.
We all of us are kind of excited about the fact that we didn't have to use the city water to water the grass.
Yeah.
You have to.
And those guys are right
Yeah,
up.
but you have Kentucky Fried Chicken grass.
Yeah, it's all brown.
It's all brown
Crispy.
and crispy.
Yeah.
I saw that sign, too.
Yeah.
Funny.
Hey, one thing. Last week, Conrad helped a friend of mine out with information on a fob.
Yeah.
Bruce West.
Fob.
Fob.
The key fob?
Key fob. Bruce took his information, took it all to the ends of the earth, got his fobs, and he's good to go. So thanks for checking in with us, Bruce. Yep.
Yeah.
And he's also a subscriber, so thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
And you too can be a subscriber.
You can. You need to
How
subscribe.
do you do that?
Go to our YouTube channel and push the little red button that says subscribe.
And every time we put something new up, you'll get a notification.
Yeah,
Come and check it out.
unicorn hunting and all that good stuff.
I like unicorn hunting.
Isn't that fun?
Did
Yes,
you
it
know
is.
that straight roads are for fast cars and turns are for fast drivers?
Oh.
And never buy a car.
Words of wisdom.
Never have kids. Wait a minute, I got to look at this one. Never have more children than you have car windows.
So that's why the Volkswagen 23 window combi was always full.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not.
You know, you didn't see too
Before
many
we
of
go
those
too
around
far.
here.
No.
I see them, but not very often.
I've got one of my neighbors has one. It's not a 23 window, but it's got some of the windows.
cool,
in it.
man.
Very cool to look at, but boy,
It was so ugly back in the day.
Oh,
You got to
no,
be
they were-
kidding
they
me.
were awesome.
It was ugly to drive.
you couldn't drive into a straight wind because they had absolutely no power. They were pretty gutless.
Mike, if your car could go at the speed of light, would your headlights work?
You know, I don't know where you got
think
these things, but
I've got them for the whole show.
that's
right
great.
here.
So we got something really to look forward to. Let's get to our next guest. John Skelton is joining us now. He's a full-time RVer. John, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good
Well-
morning from Du Bois, Wyoming.
Where?
Oh,
Du Bois, Wyoming.
Du Bois.
That's how they said it in the store.
Du Bois. Not Dubois, but
Not
Du Bois.
Du Bois.
So is that kind of out in the flatlands out there in Wyoming?
No, it's about an hour directly east of Grand Teton and
Oh.
Stone.
Beautiful country.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's amazing out here. It's just absolutely amazing. It's not like it is in Indiana.
Is that where you're from?
Yeah, that's where we were born. Both of us, Susan and I, were both born and raised in Indiana, and lived there our whole lives until first week of May or first week of June.
This year?
Yeah, this year. Yeah.
And that's when you took to the RV.
Yep. Sold everything we owned, the house, the cars, all the stuff. And we're full-time nomads now.
And you're still married.
yeah.
See the USA from my RV today.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
What made you decide to do that?
That's a tough, long answer. It was just one of those things. We've both been pretty conservative people our whole lives, just kind of nose to the grindstone, just showing up for work every day, doing things. At least for me, I just reached a point, I'm almost 58. We started talking about this a couple years ago, and I'm like, you know what? This is the perfect time. If we're going to do something like this to see this country, this is the perfect time to do it. We're both still relatively young and healthy. No kids to worry about, no nothing. She's able to retire. I can work full-time from the road. This is just the perfect time to go out and see as much of this country as we can see for as long as we want to do it.
So what are you driving? What is the RV? Is it a, I don't know what do they call it, Class B or?
Well, is it a fifth wheel or is it a tongue hitch?
Or motorhome.
Pusher or what?
Fifth wheel. It's a fifth wheel, and we tow it with our It's a 2022 Pinnacle, a Jayco Pinnacle fifth wheel. It's 41 foot, about 18,000 pounds, fully loaded.
Wow.
And we pull it with our 2022 Ram 3500.
And how's the Ram pickup for towing that thing?
Oh my gosh. The most dangerous thing about using that Ram to tow this with is sometimes you forget that you've got a 9-ton, 41-foot camper behind you. I mean, it's just terrific.
Well, I wouldn't call it a camper. I'd call it a house.
Oh, yeah, very much so.
Well, it is big, 41 foot. I don't know how square foot it is. Maybe, I don't know, 320 square foot probably. But
how many slide outs do you have?
We have 3.
And I assume that when you get to where you're going, you outboard all 3 of them.
Yep, we sure do. We slide them all out, and if we're at a full hookup campground, we just hook everything up, and it's literally like living at home. You don't have to worry about electric, water, sewer, nothing.
While I'm thinking about it, and while we're in this whole discovery phase here of our conversation, how much does it cost? Do they charge you on a daily basis to hook up with full water, sewer, lights, all that stuff on a daily basis?
Yeah. I mean, every campground can be different. So you can have full hookups, which is the water, sewer, electric, or you can have no hookup. So you just pull in and you're self-sufficient with whatever you brought is whatever you have, and so, or somewhere in between. And so every place will charge you differently. You know, the less hookups you use, the cheaper it is on a daily basis. Now, if you stay someplace for a month, sometimes you can get a discount if you stay there for a full month. But yeah, it's a daily charge for whatever you're using.
So have you been just doing overnights and pull up stakes and head out the next day, or?
No, we have to, because I work full time. So Monday through Friday, I'm working full time here in the camper. So really the only days we could travel would be on Saturdays and Sundays. So we stay for at least a week everywhere we go.
How much, I'm not trying to press you on this issue, but I mean, I have absolutely no clue. How much would it cost to stay? Let's just.
Well, how much do you pay where you're staying at right now?
That's what I was going to say.
This was, we stayed here for 2 weeks, and I think it was, and I can't do this math in my head, but it was, I think we paid like $700 for these 2 weeks, or maybe
it's about $50 a day.
Yeah, about $50 a day, and I think that's pretty standard for a full hookup. For a full hookup place, that's pretty standard. Now, if you go to a city or a state park or something like that, you know, you might get it for half that. And if you go to BLM land, where you just what they call dry camping or boondocking, I mean, it's free. You just pull out there and you're free.
But even at $50 a day, the range of what you could pay is going to vary by not just the hookup, but also by the amenities that the RV center has. Because I imagine, just like hotels, you can get a value hotel, a fair hotel, and you can get the
good, better, best.
You know, the really expensive hotel.
You can get what they call resorts, and those resorts will have beautiful pools. They'll have the playgrounds. They'll have putt. They'll have. I mean, it's a really, really, and they'll have big, beautiful, you know, pull through sites with all the amenities. I mean, they're beautiful, but they can also cost you $100, $120.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
When you pull into a site like that, do you drop the home and then use the 3500 to tootle around town? And the second part of that is, do you both share the driving when you're on the road?
The first answer is yes. The second answer is no.
No.
So yeah, we'll unhitch, level up, get everything hooked up, and then, you know, we use like when we were driving back and forth from Grand Tetons and Yellowstone, you know, we just did that obviously with just the truck. But Susan doesn't want to drive the truck just yet.
Well, I was going to ask Susan when she said the worst part of it is when you drive. That's
I didn't
the
say
most
that.
dangerous part. There you go.
So how does the
if you guys want us to continue to be happily married, you won't do this.
so how does the Ram pull a 41-foot, you said about 9,000-pound trailer through the hills?
About 18,000 pounds.
18,000. Oh, excuse me. How does it do dragging it through the hills? It
does really good. It does really, really well. Like I said, if you don't look in your side mirrors, or in your rearview mirror, sometimes you don't even know what's back there. I mean,
Wow.
that truck just pulls it like a champ. I don't even think it breaks a sweat.
So from when you pull into a lot somewhere, whatever campsite you're pulling into, how long does it take you to fully expand and set up and be ready to go, including if you're hooking up?
Yeah, that's pretty easy. That doesn't take us a lot of time at all because, it has this automatic leveling system. So when you get in there, so by the time I get it backed in or pulled through, depending on what kind of site it is, to the time we really have everything set up and ready to go, I mean, it can't be 20 minutes to half an hour.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
that's way shorter than
I want to know about those first few campsites that you guys wound up in. Were the nerves a little frayed at the end of that? Were all of the neighbors out there watching you and looking and whispering underneath their jackets, going, "Oh my God, I can't believe he just did
He's
that"?
a newbie.
Did you have visions of Robin Williams and dancing through your head?
A 62-point turn.
To give you a little bit of background on this, prior to pulling this, like I keep saying, 41-foot, 9-ton trailer, prior to this, the only thing I'd ever pulled in my entire life was an 8-foot U-Haul on the back of an Explorer.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Okay? And I'd never done any backing, never done any of that sort of stuff. So I went right into the deep end. So the first few sites that we reserved were pull through. So there's no backing involved, right?
Plan ahead.
I just pull on through and just make sure you get it set up that way. The first back-in site was in Kansas, at a state park in Kansas. I wouldn't say that went flawlessly, but we got it done. Do people watch? Probably, yeah. I mean, I know we do when somebody pulls in.
Heck yeah. All I can think of is that boat ramp that
Exactly.
in my first boat that I had, the boat ramp. Oh my God! First of all, just getting the boat down into the water and not having the pull vehicle go down in there with it. And then everybody standing around with their arms folded, just not saying a word, just
because
watching.
they're all upset because they're waiting for you and they're wanting to drop their boat and you're in the way.
Oh my God! I can only imagine. I'd be so embarrassed. I think I'd have to wear some sort of disguise. Not that I don't anyway.
There are also shirts that some people will get that say, like for married couples like us, they'll say, "Hey, sorry about everything I said when I was backing up." Because we use walkie-talkies, and sometimes those bleed over. Some people can be on the same channel, so you might hear, somebody else's thing, and they can hear us. So, but so far so good. We haven't had any real. I don't think we've gotten frustrated with the other person. When I'm backing up, I mean, I've only had to back in. Well, this here was a back in site, and then the one in Kansas was a back in. The one in Kansas was pretty tricky for my very first one. I mean, it wasn't that the site was so skinny, but there were so many branches hanging down. Yeah. I mean, this is a 102-inch wide fifth wheel, and I mean, you had about 105 inches to get that in there without, the branches, messing up either the solar panels or the air conditioning units or something like that on the roof.
So you said it's a Jayco Pinnacle, but do you have your own personal nickname for it?
We do, and it's a throwback to what we said earlier. Being from Indiana, we want to keep our Indiana roots with us, so we named our fifth wheel Hoosier.
Now it's going that direction too.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the trailer itself, the fifth wheel, have you had any problems with it? What made you decide to go with the Jayco Pinnacle? What sold you? What took you over the top?
Well, we walked through a whole bunch of units when we were thinking about buying it, and we really love this floor plan. It has the front bathroom, full bathroom, and the everything. I guess to answer your question, the floor plan was really what sold us. We just absolutely love it. And then the make itself, Jayco is one of the top of the line manufacturers, and the Pinnacle is exactly what the name says. It's the top of the line within the Jayco brand. And it's also what they call a four-weather or a four-season unit. So, it should be good, down to 0, or above 100. Now, I don't want to test the down to zero stuff, but we've already tested above 100, and it does okay there.
So when you did decide on it, did they have to build that Jayco, or did you just drive it off the lot? And with that being said, did they help you with the hookups on the truck side of it, with all of those accoutrements that go with it?
Right. In this environment in the RV industry, I mean, there's precious little available on the lot to just go buy. The dealers are really struggling with inventory. It's getting better, I think, in the last 6 to 8 months. But when we were buying ours, this time last year, I mean, you aren't just going to walk in and say, hey, I'll take that one, because there wasn't anything on the lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were empty. And if it was on the lot, it was probably somebody else's unit that just hadn't picked up yet.
Yeah, very much like the car dealers.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And that was a real treat trying to get our Dodge Ram, too. That's a different story. But so everything is hand built up in Elkhart, Indiana, which is the RV capital.
Yes,
of the
it
Sure
universe.
is.
And so everything was hand built up there. Not very much automation in the RV industry. And so we went online and kind of ticked the boxes of all the options that we wanted. Again, this being a Jayco Pinnacle, you're getting a lot of the stuff standard that you would have ordered anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But we did upgrade a few things, and it took let's see, we probably ordered it in October-ish. I can't remember the exact time. And it was available. It was on the dealer lot in March.
So did you get to customize the colors that were inside? Like when you build a house new, I want the dark cabinets, the light cabinets.
You have options. I think there were 3 full body paint options for the exterior. And then I think on the interior, there may have only been two schemes. Ours was the farmhouse, something like that. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but you basically had two color schemes inside, 3 options of full body paint outside. But then you had some other options you could do, like with the upgraded solar package, a third air conditioning unit. I can't remember. There were a few other options that I can't remember off the top of my
Do you
head.
have any regrets about anything?
Yeah, I was going to ask that. I was going to ask Susan that.
No, well, I mean, we have had 2 issues while we've been out on the road, and we had to take it to a dealer associated with the dealership that we purchased it with. We had 2 internal water leaks. But as John has said a couple times, they were the most convenient inconvenience that we've had, because those dealerships were on the way to where we were going. Aside from Kansas, we had to pull up stakes a little early, but that dealership wasn't that far away. So, and they were easy fixes. They just weren't something that we could fix. You don't want to tear out a wall and then all of a sudden your warranty is void.
Yeah.
So take it to the dealership was the best thing. No regrets at this point, I don't think. Sometimes I feel like when he's working, what is necessarily my purpose? I'm a people person. I need something to do. So there are sometimes I get antsy to get out and do something, but I've walked into town, I've gone for runs, research where we're going next, those sorts of things. So loved it so far.
So the only other means of transportation you have when you drop the trailer is the truck. Do you have like little electric bikes or something like that you can carry in the RV as well?
Well, we have bikes. They're not electric. They're human powered. We've thought about getting electric bikes. They're very popular and they're very cool. But we don't have anything like that. Right now, it's just the truck and our legs, and if we want to ride a bike somewhere.
So what are your plans here for the next, going into the fall and headed into winter?
So
head south.
when we're done with this, we're packing it up and heading to Cody for a week. Then we go up to Helena, Montana for a week. And then we start making our way back to Elkhart, because one of the things that we're going to upgrade on our fifth wheel is we're going to have independent suspension put on. And so we're taking that into Elkhart in October to have them install the independent suspension. Then we're headed down to the Gulf for a little bit. One of my brothers lives down there, so we have a spot reserved right on the Gulf, right on the beach. I mean, it's like a pitching wedge from the Gulf.
Wow.
Is where we'll be staying. And then we head out west through Texas, through your neck of the woods, out to Arizona. And then next year, who knows? That's the beauty of the lifestyle. We'll just figure it out at that point.
So you are extremely adaptable to what's next in a lot of instances. Do you have it mapped out on a wall somewhere?
The only thing that keeps us from being too adaptable, again, is the fact that it's, RVing has become so popular that some of the really, really nice places that you want to go to book up pretty fast. Like for next year, for instance, I already booked a 3-week spot up near Glacier. And I think there were like 3 spots left. And I made this reservation 2 weeks ago.
Isn't that like somewhere north Montana, isn't it? Glacier National?
Yeah, that's clear up north of Montana. In fact, it bleeds over into Canada.
Wow. Well, what do you do for groceries?
Walmart, baby.
Walmart.
Well,
Gotcha.
and this place has Du Bois has they have a local grocery store that I think is a local owned one. We went in there and that's where we've been getting stuff. That's where I got my elk burgers, my buffalo hot dogs, and all the other stuff that is fun to do. So
Get a lot of the local stuff.
Yeah.
we try to.
And what do you guys do for mail?
Good question. Livingston, Texas is our mailing address. So there's a service out there for people like us that don't have a permanent address. And so I think we pay them $100 a year or something like that. And everything that we want can go to Livingston. We call them whenever we want it, and they'll send it to whatever RV park we happen to be at.
So you show that Livingston address as your home address.
Home base.
Let's say one of the, a government agency, your driver's license and all of that gets mailed to that address.
Eventually, that's what's going to happen. We haven't done that yet. I mean, like my driver's license and hers is still Indiana.
Okay.
I don't think I've changed my W-2s or anything like that.
Well, you can't get a new driver's license every state you go into. So one of them's got to be.
So do you still
Permanent.
show Indiana, or do you show Livingston, Texas as your?
Well, my driver's
your
license
residence?
is still Indiana.
Okay.
But eventually, in fact, I was looking at that this week. We do need to migrate to being actual Texas residents.
Yeah.
Because we got to vote, we got to pay taxes, we have to get vehicles registered,
Right.
insurance, all those things
That's where my question
require
is.
some sort of a place, a domicile. And so we are transitioning over to Livingston, Texas, and it's called Escapees. That's who we're using. And Escapees is very, very common in the RV industry for things like this, for getting mail, helping you establish domiciles. South Dakota, Texas, and Florida are the big 3 states that the full-time nomads choose to domicile.
And a convenience of no state income tax in those 3 states.
You don't pay it
certainly
anyways.
a factor. That is a factor.
They won't have agents keep up with them. They're on the move too much.
Yeah, maybe we all talk about what we regret. Let's go back somewhere else. Let's go to another topic besides taxes.
Well, it sure is good to talk to you guys, and thank you so much
Pretty
for
interesting.
educating us in
Absolutely.
RVing full time.
Having
Hey,
us into your home.
Do us a favor. Sometime in October, when you make it back to Indiana, what are you going to do in Indiana when the RV is getting its a suspension upgrade?
Well, we have a lot of people we know in Indiana. So when we're done with that, it's going to take us a while to get through the state of Indiana because we'll make 3 or 4 stops, just to catch up with people, family, friends, and things like that. So,
well, we wish you the best of luck. Do us a favor and give us a call again, and let's check in on you and see how things are going as we
Absolutely.
approach Christmas.
sure, absolutely. Be happy to come back and join you guys again anytime.
Thank you.
you.
It's been a real pleasure. We enjoyed both of you guys, and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Drive
Thank you.
safe.
How
Cool.
fun.
Yeah,
Cool.
really.
It's kind of like you. You leave the house on Monday and don't come back till when? Friday?
Well, this week was Friday. Usually,
That's
I come
if they
back
let 'em.
Thursday. Yeah.
They let
Yeah,
you back.
But
in.
I mean, to say, oh well, honey, let's go to Yosemite National Park this month.
But
You
we're
know,
in
and then
Orlando.
We'll go to, pick up and go. Go to Yellowstone. All of those places
But
you
the
could go
price
see.
of gas, diesel, whatever it is,
Yeah.
to go from here to
Well,
there.
I think that change happened after his plan began.
Well, and
So, yeah.
Thank you, Brandon.
they have a plan, and that's the whole point. You got to have a plan in order to work through that.
All right, time now for some of the stories making headlines this week around
Some
the globe.
humdingers out there, aren't there?
Huh?
There's some humdingers. Out there.
Oh, there certainly are. Jaguar F-Pace being recalled, 2122, improperly illuminated rear turn signals. Misrouted harness may corrode and short circuit on Mercedes-Benz, and there's a bunch of them, too many to mention here. But as always, what you do is you go to safercar.gov, type in your VIN number, and it'll pull up recalls. I think every Ferrari known to man since 2013 is being recalled. Look at the size of that list.
Actually, since 2005.
Loss of brake function. That's bad.
There's a vent or something.
Yeah. Sunroof malfunction on Volkswagens for 2022. Audi, bunch of those from the 2016 model year because the airbag inflator may explode or deploy improperly. That's an ongoing thing. And Jeep Grand Cherokee 2122 damaged taillight side marker assembly. Okay, fine. Well, I thought this is a very interesting story. Inventory levels continue to stagnate in the U.S. at just over 1 million vehicles as continuing supplier issues block automaker attempts to boost production, despite a slowdown in sales, according to Cox Automotive and the Automotive News Research and Data Center. Cox estimates in its most recent survey that inventory declined in July to 1.02 million vehicles, down by about 98,000 from where it stood a month earlier, and marking the 7th consecutive month that inventory has stayed between 1 million and 1.1 million. Cox said the total represented a 37-day supply based on its practice of using the selling rate from the most recent 30-day period. Among the 7 automakers that continue to report sales and inventory data to the Automotive News Research and Data Center, Subaru still had the tightest supply at 3 days, with other Asian brands also running lean because of their long supply lines. For example, the Toyota brand began August with 86,696 vehicles, representing a 15-day supply. Of that, just 9,500 were in dealers' hands, with the remainder still in the delivery pipeline.
Transport.
Lexus had a 20-day supply at 18,000 vehicles, but only 5,000 at dealerships. Ford continued to have the strongest inventory levels among reporting brands at a 40-day supply. Among mass market segments, Cox estimates supplies are tightest among small cars, minivans, and vehicles with electrified powertrains.
Wow.
Okay, well, that's it for this hour of the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. We have more coming your way right after a quick break.
Get out the permanent marker and write on your wall calendar the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In, Saturday, September 17th, 2022. It's the fall edition of Tailpipes and Tacos at the Loopy Tortilla in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m. It's the only place cruisers compete for Loopy's Chili Pepper trophies and other prizes. There's no charge to enter your vehicle for Best Hot Rod, Best Classic, or Best Modern Classic. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's coolest and most unique cruise-in and is your opportunity to see the best hot rods, show cars, classics, and resto mods. And get Loopy Tortilla breakfast tacos with adult beverages. There's no entry fee, and cars will automatically compete for those much sought-after custom Loopy trophies and other prizes. It happens at the Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. It's Tailpipes and Tacos Fall Edition, Saturday, September 17th. The In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show will be there, too. Celebrate the beginning of fall and the return of the Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In, Saturday morning, September 17th, 8 to 11 a.m. We'll see you then, weather permitting. Want to take a minute to tell you about Gulf Coast Auto Shield, a Houston detail company like no other. Gulf Coast Auto Shield offers paint correction services that'll give your car, truck, or SUV a like-new shine. Afterwards, you'll want to protect it with a professionally installed nano-ceramic coating or protection film. Worried about your very expensive windshield getting damaged, broken, or cracked? Let Gulf Coast Auto Shield install ExoShield, a windshield protection film. Give John Gray a call today or check out their website, gcautoshield.com. Hey, whether you own a new, ultra-expensive, exotic, or a 5-year-old Suburban, Gulf Coast Auto Shield will help keep your investment looking like the day it rolled off the assembly line. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is conveniently located on the South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of I-69, the Southwest Freeway. Meet the staff and check out all of their services online right now at gcautoshield.com. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is now part of the iHeart family. Now you'll have access to 24/7 Car Talk anytime you need a fix. Just download the iHeart Radio app and ask for In Wheel Time Car Talk, and there we are. Be sure to save us in your iHeart library for instant access. No matter where you are, you have the best Car Talk Show right on your PC, laptop, or mobile device and never have to worry about finding us again. Of course, you can always get access to our video and audio streams via InWheelTime.com and your favorite podcast channel, and all of this is free to you. From the iHeart Radio app, you'll not only hear our Saturday morning live show, but the best shows of the past, updated weekly. Never miss a minute of up-to-date new car reviews, pre-owned reviews, Conrad's Car Clinic, informative interviews, automotive news, and the most fun car talk show on the planet. Just download the iHeart Radio app, search for In Wheel Time Car Talk, save it to your library, and with a tap of the icon, you'll be in touch with your favorite Car Talk team. In Wheel Time Car Talk, streaming now on iHeart.com/In Wheel Time Car Talk. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.